Here's why all this is happening, a lot of this is happening. It's because there's 1,500 companies, I think, that set cookies within this digital supply chain, but the number of third-party requests that you see with every different page that you go to is exponentially growing because every one of those third parties uses a different ID system. And we have to ID sync with each other in order to work together. For instance, within RTB, and for all of the automation and programmatic sales channels that have been forming and represent the fastest growing area and the fastest growing revenue channels for many of the publishers. So if you have 4 parties who are syncing with each other, given the current cookie-based infrastructure, that's 12 ID sync pixels that has to land on some page. If you expand that to 8 parties, that leads to 56 ID sync pixels, and that's for every device, every login, every app, etc. There are many different companies in the ecosystem today that work with 50, 100 different partners, all synchronizing IDs with each other. As the number of devices that we all use continue to proliferate, so too does the number of partners that we all work with. And this is why all of those third-party requests that we see in tools like Ghostery continue to grow exponentially and cause problems for a number of us. For us as consumers, what we see is what are these people doing on the page? I just went to this website and I'm seeing these different request form. What data are they capturing, and where are they storing it, and how are they using that? And they just see a lot of overload of these third-party requests, understandably. And consumers don't know they don't have any transparency or control to who's doing what with all of that data, what's being collected and such. And from a consent standpoint, the consent for all of this is all across the board. Do we want consumers, if this, if EU consent takes hold and migrates over to the US, does every one of those third parties, do we want them putting a window in front of us asking us to consent? Each one of those third parties. That could be a problem. For publishers, Rubicon Project works directly with publishers, and we've been hearing for a long time, why do we have to have all of these third-party requests on our pages? It troubles them. It not only degrades the user experience, but it causes concerns of data leakage for them. But they can't, they'd love to have us take down all of those pixels, and for us as an industry to stop doing that. But there's a real issue with that, because it is their fastest growing sales channel, RTB and programmatic and private marketplaces, us doing business that way. And so that way it requires that we all ID sync with each other and for that to continue. So they don't have a mechanism to stop doing that yet.